Welcome back, Five Aces.
Battle control initialized.
Hey people, Five Aces here. Before we get into today's cast, let's first do a little political housekeeping. I don't usually like to get all too political, but can we talk for a second? Seeing as I know my target demographic, I know that most of the people watching are from the United States, and are you guys and girls okay over there across the pond? Because right now it ain't looking too hot. I just received news of the ICE shootings, and yeah, America has kind of turned into a trickle-down democracy, or as I like to call it, Weimar 2.0. Good lord. Please, if you're reading this message, copy and please make sure you vote the annoying orange and his compatriots out of office. That would be great. That's all, thank you. For now, we are gonna be watching the face-off between two players whom I have casted quite a bit. I think GG in 2025 was my most casted player, mostly by virtue of his best of 13 versus Sir, but he has other qualities as well, namely that of being a 3-ref connoisseur. He is definitely the master of the push, and push comes to shove here because he's going to meet up against Fazzar. Fazzar has a stellar track record on all fronts. He has a crowned RAGL champion. Did he actually receive his title there? No, he didn't ever claim it. So PSA, if you ever scored a title in one of the tournaments, then you may just ask the developers for a little star next to your icon, and it is going to display the title as well. So we are finding ourselves on Evergreens, and this is going to be a nice cast for me because the chores are done, the exams are graded, the kids are asleep, so I do have some spare time for once, which just feels amazing. Usually that just doesn't happen before 10 p.m. I guess, but right now it's been a bit of a lucky break. Yeah, so what's happening in your lives? If you're, unless you're US American, then it should be, you know, protesting at the front lines. Nah. Can't make the individual responsible for an entire nation's worth of nonsense, because we in Austria do definitely have the worst track record there. Especially considering the time period in the mid-20th century. That's all I'm gonna say. So, Fazzar is opening with a couple medics. Rockets are being added right now. He's playing it safe, and he usually tends to keep his infantry ball in the middle of his base for the early game, just to not be caught off guard. And then he has some pocket strategies up his sleeve. He can definitely be a fast taker, but that's not something I would expect on this map because the resources are incredibly low. And there is also only 2 oil derricks, so that doesn't really supplement your income all that much. We are seeing the triple ref into War Factory from GG, who is now firing up the light tank forge, but oh yeah, here's the MCV move out. He's probably going to deploy one refinery here and then start the push onto the northern perimeter. Right, what else has been happening? Here we've just had lots of exams to grade because it's January, so just before the semester ends, and we've had some fun surprises there, such as one recent math exam of my class that I'm the head teacher of, where I just learned from the math teacher that 24 out of 26 have scored an F, and at least 7 out of those 26 have cheated. However, I then talked to basically the class speaker, and she confessed to me that it was not in fact 7 persons who cheated, but 20 at least. And they cheated by copying the results of the remaining 7 who had actually studied for the exams. But they had been ludicrously hard, so Ranger from Fazzar being kind of abandoned, but manages to get on over in time. Does see the move out. I think he saw the harvester. He does not know about the base just yet. He does know now. And he can be super annoying now by parking on the ref pad. Is he actually willing to do that? Let's see. So that does alleviate some of the pressure because GG was posturing in the north, and right now not looking too dangerous anymore. Also, Fazzar seems to be aware of the bag of tricks that usually comes with the games of GG. The bag of tricks contains one trick to be specific. One trick only. He is the definition of a one-trick pony. Oh, he also killed an engineer here. Kinda missed that. Yo, also special thanks and special shout out to the persons who keep on commenting for the videos. And specifically one person who left such nice feedback. It was going, oh, I don't usually comment, but I watch all your casts. And thank you for casting, and that made me really happy. And then they went on typing a 500-word essay on the game state of Citrial versus GG, and an in-depth analysis that was worthy of like a half a bachelor's thesis. So that was just really impressive. That made me happy. So thank you to that person whom I don't believe I have yet met outside of the comments. Yeah, what else has been going on? The battle lines have been drawn here in this match. Medium tank tech transition for GG. Ooh, we're entering the late game stages. Oh, he also has parked on the ref pad. Yeah, Fazzar always has a way of making even the smallest of his assets work in his favor. Radar Dome, the double tech. If Fazzar starts the push now, though, that's gonna be problematic, man. He's got such a great game sense here. Oh my goodness. Does he actually kill the Conyard? I believe so. Oh, he's going for the army now? I'm not sure if that's the wisest choice. The MCV is dead. How about the armies? Let's see. Light tanks. Oh, connecting quite well. That was solid. But the mediums of GG are just standing still, idling. So yes, army loss for GG. But at the same rate, we're not seeing a complete wipe or a complete disaster yet. Here comes the counter push. There is just no punch in this push. So I don't know. Can he actually hold? Oh, there is build radius. So Fazzar should be able to hold in just a minute. As soon as the front lines start crumbling. Yeah, there's only infantry left. And that's a wild overcommitment here from GG. Yeah, retreat has been sounded. All the tanks need to do is target down the artilleries, and then he should be good to go. He's instead waiting for the first helicopter, which is a bit of a conservative approach, but should still be fine. The radar dome might actually be going down here, so no more. He's building medium tanks anyway, who cares? So, one thing I see even the pro players not do is selling structures. I've talked about this before. Structures do provide your opponent with the 10% kill bonus. Well, any and all kills do. But structures are very expensive, so 1.8k, that's 180 in your opponent's pockets. If you just sell it off, that is denied. So, usually a smart choice. I don't see enough players doing this. The FCOM from Fazzar is completely unprotected, but there is no pressure on it, so GG has all the time in the world to reposition. He has lost his service depot, obviously. Still has his econ, but... Oh yeah, he never went for a second MCV, so... He's basically dead in the water unless he makes this push work somehow. But this is starting to smell like a 1-0 sweep, because... Yeah, there he is now. An actual honest-to-God... Oh, wow. Gets it too. An actual honest-to-God helicopter out on the field. Would you believe that? For the artist formula known as Hein. Yeah, that is probably going to be the last push. The last round being called here. My goodness, everything is being obliterated. Artilleries are starting to die by the minute. It's getting closer and closer to a Fazzar victory. Fazzar unfazed by the push. And he's under no threat whatsoever anymore. Assets firmly in his favor. GG, all he can build is rifles and rockets and artilleries. That is pretty much all she wrote. MCV is being brought on over by Fazzar because he can expand. Unlike Mr. GG. Oh, that's going to be a dead MCV, however. No, manages to deploy in time. Very aggressive, very far forward, but at the end of the day, that won't change much. Singling out the rocket soldiers here is Fazzar, very good micro. He has always been known for good micro. GG. There we go. And And that is the 1-0. Fazzar, on a roll, on a tear, on a rampage. We are going to be back with game number 2 in just a hot second. See you then.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
And game number 2 is en route. You wouldn't believe how this map is called. It is called Up for Disaster. Hell yeah, I say bring it on. That could be the unofficial RHL motto. It also features a very gloomy atmosphere and a very strange light filter. We do have the faction picks being 2 allied players this time around. Fazzar has been switching it up. I've seen him play especially Ukraine a lot. But ever since the Parabomb nerf, Ukraine are not the dominant Soviet faction anymore. It is also equally viable to go for a good old Russia Tesla tech push. Death Ball. Man, one of my most favorite builds in OpenRA is Flags and Teslas. It soft counters everything. It needs an insane amount of attention to detail and micro, because you must always keep your flag pack at range, you must always target the right units, and you must always utilize the range of the Tesla tanks specifically. And it is quite mediocre against infantry because they are very cheap, and Tesla tanks zap them one at a time with a low rate of fire. So it takes like a very long time. It's basically 52 pickup. Okay, explosive barrels being disposed of. If only that worked in real life. If that were how you get rid of toxic waste, just fire 2 rounds at it, let it explode. Oh no! Oh my goodness! Fazzar, with the game sense, gets the engineer before the second Derrick is captured. That does already spell out disaster. And that was such a smart move here as well. He was anticipating that there would be a second engineer coming and was trying to sneak in a second rifle into position here. Didn't quite get it, but the idea was stellar. Okay, there is another FCOM. So on FCOM maps so far, Fazzar has had a distinct advantage. Medic being pulled back for whatever reason. Alright, just being sent home, why not? And so far it doesn't look like there is any sort of threat or cheese coming his way. So he's going to be all golden. Medic is actually out of a job for the time being, believe it or not. So he went double ref War Factory up against the triple ref into War Factory into MCV move out from GG. Honestly, many players I've seen play against him played like that he were a regular opponent, but he's a one-trick pony, as has been established in the previous cast. He does triple ref. He does that extremely well. Triple ref into MCV move out into either tech or tanks and into pure mass pressure. And it's kind of an all or nothing tactic, because you're putting all your eggs in the MCV basket, and if that fails, this is exactly what happened in game 1. You have no more expansion MCV and you're dead in the water. And yeah, so far the other players haven't really been reactive to that, but Fazzar has been reactive in a way that is not reactive. He's not reacting as much as he's just preparing. All he's doing is sitting home and anticipating the inevitable push, and then pushing back as soon as the first wave is being basically survived, right? So the idea here is play passive, win against GG. Because he's not going to be that fast at expanding. With one MCV, you only have one build queue. As soon as you redeploy your MCV, you must fire up the production queue once again. Takes another 40 seconds for the ore refinery, and it all adds up. And meanwhile, you can just play it safe, go for an actual expansion MCV for your own, and enjoy a double Q ref. Okay, this time around though, there is a push, and the light tank is here. And Fazzar is doing the smart thing. He sees the army composition, sees he's got the inferior army right now, and he just pulls back. Now he's got the medium tank, so he now should be good. So just intelligent gameplay without even big micro decisions. It was really just strategy. That was not the tactics front, but the strategy front. You know, the grand picture. My opponent is coming. He's gonna crash into my gates. Let them crash on my gates. And let them die. Oh, this time around, though, he found the power farm. That is annoying. That was not meant to be taken down that easily. Ranger trying to cut through the reinforcements. But he knows the army strength and army composition here. So he knows that he should have the superior army for the time being. Also, the Ranger is still out of the field, so he can get a good read on the map. Oh no! Oh no! Fazzar has captured the War Factory, the Achilles heel of GG's build. Yeah, that is terrible. He lost the Ranger, but Fazzar is completely fine. Oh my goodness, he captured the War Factory off screen. Yikes! That is just brutal. And now we're going into the actual engagement, and there is little to no front lines, sans one light tank for GG. Oh, this is going to be a complete disaster. Is there anything else going on, or why is he not reacting? He's got nothing. We're gonna take a look at that in 20 seconds time, and it's gonna dip below the ocean floor. That is gonna dip all the way to Bikini Bottom. Oh boy. Yep. That is going to be all she wrote. The harvesters are being pulled. One scatter command. No scatter command coming in, but the harvester's not being effective either. And GG, the 2-0 sweep for Fazzar, who is on a roll, who has definitely taken the lead, and who is going to be the one to observe on the leaderboards. So, look at the dip. Yep. Dipping harder than the credibility of IC units. Yikes. So, thank you for watching, and thank you all for commenting, especially those who are taking their time to type out 500-word essays in response to 2 games, which is amazing. That level of detailed analysis just fascinates me. Please keep that up, and that's what keeps me going on this channel, because that's what I like, sharing my passion for RTS. And speaking of which, well played to both, but especially Fazzar, who is the man of the hour. So, thank you for watching, I'll see you next time. 5 Aces, out.
Battle control terminated.